Hey!
Hello!
Hi.
Oh, and welcome, Annie. I mean, this is so fabulous to have you as one of the Wonderbirds.
Yes, but dear, it's a bit ridiculous, isn't it? Because from last week, she hasn't left the Zoom call. She wanted to come back so badly that she hasn't even left.
Well, I couldn't let you go, Annie. You're just so much fun. We love your energy.
We do. We do.
Thank you. It's a privilege to be with you. And I was absolutely over the moon to be back. And actually, I've been waiting on the sideline for the whole week, going, hello, still here.
Now you're going to have a baptism of fire, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Because Bob Barratt from Holby, as you probably know him, but from lots of loads and loads of different shows, and he's just made a movie too, is our special guest this week. He's one of our greatest friends and one of our greatest allies. And we love him.
Oh, I love him. I don't even know him.
You'll love him even more when he's finished.
You will, Annie. You'll love him.
You will by the end of this show.
I'm so excited.
Gorgeous Bob. Welcome, Bob.
Hey!
Oh,
we are so Bob.
Oh, it's so lovely. Oh my God.
You have
so exciting.
We have a Wonderbird.
Lovely to meet you, Bob.
Lovely to meet you too. So lovely to meet you.
Lovely
Annie has got a very, very, very big history with this show. In fact, he is a wonder bloke, aren't you, Bob?
I'm a wonder bloke. Well, that's the best compliment I've had. Nice. A wonder bloke.
Yeah, I feel like
that's it now.
I've been watching you the whole time on Holby anyway, so I feel like I know you all already.
That's so thank you.
I watched every series, seriously.
You really seriously?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Bob, you should tell her what happened at Tony's party when somebody had a heart attack.
So it was my first year, and there were there's loads of stories about that day. But anyway, it was my first year, and I was invited to Tony McHale, who has become one of my best friends in the world, and I adore him and Jan. And we went to this thing, and we were all the doctors were there, literally everybody. Hugh Corshi, Robert Powell was there. We're all there. We're all around, and we all, for some reason, were eating burgers all pretty much at the same time, all sort of together. And in the middle of us, this man, and it's a terrible story. This man sort of had a heart attack. Luckily, he survived. But of course, everyone just stared at us, expecting us to do something. And we all turned into from, hey, we're on Holby City and we're playing doctors, to pathetic actors going, well, I can't do anything. I don't know what to do. And we all panicked. And someone was there who happened to be a doctor and came and saved the day. But we were like, oh my God, how pathetic were we?
Oh, that is hilarious.
And there was people, there were people on the show who said, oh, I could do surgery. I've done it. I've done so much surgery. I probably could be a doctor now and do surgery and all the rest of it. None of us.
And I think the caveat and the funniest thing afterwards was when the ambulance did come, and all the ambulance people walked in and saw all these doctors there.
They were crying, Christ alive, they're all here. What are they doing? Also that thing of, why are you here and not saving lives in the hospital?
That is brilliant.
I love that story.
That is brilliant.
It's a brilliant story. That's fantastic.
So Bob, you've got to tell us what you're doing now, and where honestly, I can't wait because it's not long till we can come and see you. Tell everybody what you're doing.
So we are doing Murder on the Orient Express,
Dun, dun.
which is my second Christie in a year, because I did the other one. I did and then there were Nun Tour, which was so successful they thought, well, let's kick in another one. Let's do another one tour, and this is going to be as successful. I'm doing it with my wife. I'm doing it with Becky, which is incredible luck. I mean, they're so lovely to have done that.
Why is it so done? Now, Agatha Christie, what is it? What's the magic? Why do we just love to disappear into these stories?
It's quite unbelievable. We sold out on An End of a Nun, and the reason was her. We're selling out now, and the reason is her. She is box office. She is more box office now than ever. It's quite amazing. I talked to because the Agatha Christie estate are behind it. James Pritchard, who's her grandson, organises all this. And I was talking to him about it. And he was going, well, I can't believe just how popular she is now. I asked, because I've done lots of interviews about it, I always ask this question. She's it's not just that she's good at narrative and brilliant at storytelling and brilliant at characters and all that kind of stuff. It's the fact that her ideas and her plot works. And Then There Were None is about a strange force that none of them understand killing everyone. Now that's Alien. That's basically Alien. That's basically The Thing. All these great, amazingly successful films are all based on what she did.
Yeah,
and people love her. People around the country love her, but it's not just here, it's Australia. We went to China. I didn't go, but the show went to China. Oh. There's interest in India, there's interest in Australia, there's interest in America. She's global. And these books sell more than any other books. I mean, I think And Then There Were None is the best-selling book, one of the best-selling books of all time.
Is that the one set on the island?
Yes, it's the one that we set on the island.
Yeah, because have you been to Burr? Is it Berg or Burr Island? Have you been there?
Yeah, we were taken to Burr Island, and I did an interview with, it was meant to be the BBC, but they couldn't do it, so it was ITV, and they interviewed us on the island, and the little shack, which they built for her to write in, because once she'd written it, and it was a huge success, they said, well, Agatha, come and have this shack. So she has a shack right next to the massive hotel, and it was magical, and just to be there.
Wow. Didn't they make a movie of that with Vanessa Redgrave and Dustin Hoffman in the 1970s or 80s? Long time. They made a movie about that.
They did. They did. Yeah, I saw that.
They did. I've just worked with her.
I can't wait to see Micah's Pirro.
He's amazing as Pirro. He's amazing Pirro. He's
you
right
must look like Little and Large.
He's Little and Large. It is like Little. It's like Little. Someone was saying it's like Morecambe and Wise. You know, it's literally, it's hilarious to two of us. But he's phenomenal Pirro. He's a fantastic Pirro. It's an amazing cast. Across the board, it's an amazing cast.
You know what? I saw Mike.
We can't wait.
Ago, and when he came to see the play, which you didn't get to.
I couldn't get to see it because I was doing a film with Vanessa Redgrave.
Oh, for God!
I did the thing. I did a film with her and Franco Nero. She played my mum. That's why I couldn't come and see it, because I was filming that.
Tell us about that.
Oh, it was amazing. It was. I was like, it came out the blue. I know her son, their son, Carlo Nero, and it just came out the blue, and it was based on The Cherry Orchard. It's coming out. I don't know when it's coming out, but I was just starstruck. Because I adore her. She's amazing to me.
Oh, she's amazing.
And him as well.
I know Carlo very well as well, and because Natasha was one of my closest best friends ever.
My God!
Yeah, because her dad gave me and I've got a picture of Carlo aged about 8 and me looking after him aged probably 18 at Disneyland.
Oh my God! Isn't that amazing that you know Carlo? Oh, that's wonderful.
Well, I know Franco as well, because I was looking after Carlo. And in fact, I took Carlo, I was sort of, because the nanny was away, I took Carlo when he was about 8 or 9 to Yugoslavia to meet up with Franco, because he was doing Force 10 from Navarone.
Oh my God, I love that film.
What a cast. Robert Shaw and all these amazing people. Harrison Ford, Barbara Bach. And here I am, being a nanny well, not really a nanny, I just took him there and had this lovely holiday. It's great. They're a lovely family.
He's still handsome, Bob.
He's stunning.
Yeah.
He's still got that thing. He was very fun because he made every day we made me laugh. We kept making each other laugh because he's hilarious. But he was, I remember we were sitting around. This is brilliant. I love this story. He said, and we're telling stories. Everyone's telling stories, and of course, you know, the level of story was like here, and he just interrupted to make the story levels of the story up there because he's Franco Nero and he knows everyone. So someone was saying a story about drama school or something, or when I worked on an episode of The Bill or something like that, and then he suddenly went, when we were in what was it? When we were in the south of France, I was with Franco, I was with Carlo. And we were playing tennis with Frank Sinatra and his wife. And suddenly names come dropping down. Frank Sinatra and his wife. Like... And Carlo didn't know it was who Frank Sinatra was. So he hit this ball. He was a good tennis player. And he hit this ball and it hit Frank Sinatra's wife. and Frank Sinatra threw the racket down and went for Carlo. And then he said, and then But then my friend Roger Moore stepped in and calmed everything down and said, Frank, this is Franco's son. Don't hit him, all the rest of it. And I was like, we were sat there going, see, that's a story. That's a story.
That's a
Not
story.
I was on the bill.
Yeah.
That's a story with a cast of Frank Sinatra, Roger Moore, Franco. So he was doing that all the time. He was telling these amazing stories about Marlon Brando.
That I can still watch that whole bit. It's still on YouTube. Camelot with Vanessa Redgrave and Franco, and that song. And oh my God, I will every single time I watch it, I'm in floods.
Yes.
They are the most beautiful people you've ever seen in your life.
They are, and they married. They didn't. I think, was he telling me he got married in 2008 or something? They've been sort of off and on together forever.
Are they still? Are
It
they
is
still
this
up
great
and up?
love story. It's an amazing love story.
Are they still together?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think they live together. But they sort of, and that's why they did this. They did this for
deep love, I think. But
deep
God,
love.
they were so beautiful. They're beautiful old people as well, older people.
Yeah.
But just stunning.
Wow. You'll be like that, Bob. 31 years, 31 years.
I'm working at 87.
How are you managing being a vegan while you're on tour?
Not easy.
Yeah.
Manchester wasn't easy. Salford wasn't easy. You find your way. Because we're both together. I mean, it's terrible to say, but because we're both together, we get individual, money on tour. But we're only going to stay in one thing, so we've actually got nicer digs than we normally would have, which is very lovely. So we can get self-contained and we can cook our own food, which is lovely.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's wonderful.
And there are wonderful vegan restaurants all around the country. I big them up as much as I can. There's a place in Malvern called Rise, which is an incredible vegan restaurant. So you go around and you're always lucky. You find your little niche and little restaurants around the place. So
well, when I was a vegan 375 years ago, there were none. There was one in London.
I remember having that conversation with you.
Yeah,
you were the groundbreaker.
Yeah, there was Food for Thought, which was in Covent. Do you remember in Covent Garden?
Neil's Yard.
In Neil's Yard. But then when I used to love it when we appeared in Glasgow, because it was it was Edinburgh, Henderson's.
Henderson.
We're doing Edinburgh. In fact, I can't wait to go there. I love it.
Yeah, but you know what?
I love Edinburgh.
The last time I was there, it wasn't that wonderful. I think it's because it was the only one kind of in the world at the time.
Yeah.
And it was brilliant. I mean, you're going back a long time ago, 40 years ago, and it was like the only vegan restaurant. And of course, when I was on tour then, I couldn't eat anything. I wouldn't eat chips that were cooked with the fish. I wouldn't, I was really, really,
that's
really strict.
Time.
I was really ahead of my time. So, and I wouldn't eat any fruit that had been sprayed.
You are ahead of your time.
Yeah.
You're always ahead.
And then I met John Tallis, and he said, if you don't eat chicken, then we can't have a relationship. So it was his fault.
Is that what he said? Now look, talking about ahead of your time, I saw you in an episode of Minder.
On the Orient Express.
God.
Was it
I love watching things like Minder and things like that because you see everyone. You see everyone, you go, oh my God, there they are. You were amazing in it. You were so wonderful in it.
I agree.
Was that Minder on the Orient Express? Because I did that. I did that, honestly.
You did Minder on the Orient Express.
Wow. We did. It was
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Right, it was a feature film.
That's genius.
It was a feature film which was shot on the Orient Express.
Oh my God!
And
that's amazing.
I thought you were joking.
She was one of those, oh, my Angela. And she was. So I was lucky enough to come back to Minder to play a completely different character from the one I played before, and I had so much fun on there. But we all
looked like fun.
Yeah,
we had like a lot of fun.
We had to get on the train every day at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and then go off, and we'd come back about 6 or 7 at night because they couldn't obviously schedule the scenes that we were doing. Even if we were in the last scene, we still had to be on the bloody train, didn't we?
God.
God! I promise you, there is a shot on there where it's shot. There's somebody else talking. I think it might even be Anna Blackman. She's talking to us. And the camera's behind me. And I actually remember falling asleep and I see my head going like this.
But when did you start acting, Debbie?
Oh, I was going to say back in when the Flintstones were around.
When Elvis was still alive.
Well, Elvis, yes, he was still alive, but a long, long time ago. But Minder on the Orient Express, I think, was sort of mid-80s.
Yeah.
And we shot it, we shot most of it on the train. So we're on the train for 5 weeks, and we had all this weird, I felt like I worked on it. But the best thing is and you'll love this, all of you, because actors are very well known to take little souvenirs, aren't we? Just tiny things when we work. Anyway,
them in our pockets. Yes.
Every day coming off the Orient Express, we take like a spoon, we take like a glass, we take little bits, So basically, we all had like a selection of the cutlery. And on the very last, the 2 days before we finished filming, they came over and they gave us all a little Orient Express thing with a glass in it, everything else. And they said, "And can you please bring all the other things back?" We got nothing left.
Oh my God.
That is
Fell asleep on set, though. That's funny. Oh my God. I once fell asleep on stage. And it was my first theatre job with Christopher Cazenove and Julian Fellows. And I fell asleep because I had to be.
What was the play?
It was called Anatole.
Oh, right.
Anatole, Arthur Schnitzler play, and I'm in Victorian, lots of costume dramas, and I'm supposed to be hypnotised. Fell asleep while they were hypnotising me. Kind of came round and thought, "Oh my God,
where am I?
Don't open your eyes." I remembered not to open my eyes, and I thought, and then they had to bring me round out of it. As I did this, the back of my wig got caught in the hook and eye on my dress, and I could feel it kind of pulling off my head. And I thought, "Oh Jesus, I'm going to be bald in a minute. What do I do?" And all I could think was, "What's your line?" And "Don't open your eyes and don't open your mouth yet, because you're not supposed to speak." And I was in such a state by the time they woke me up. I was supposed to wake up all calm and lovely. And in the end, I kind of put my hand, and I think I wrenched the back of the wig lace off in order to, but I could feel this wig being pulled off my head.
Oh my God.
Oh no.
I had this one scene where Judy Campbell, God, who was so wonderful, had to just talk to me, and my back was to the audience, and she just had to talk to me. It was like a couple of minutes long, and she was just talking to me, and I sat down on this big like beanbag, and I closed my eyes and I went to sleep. I just put my head back, and there was this great big kick from Judy. I mean, literally, and I went, "Oh!" And I thought, "Oh my goodness."
I love this.
We've all had those
what's
disasters.
the most ludicrous thing that's ever happened to you on stage, Bob?
Oh Christ! So many. It's usually a corpse. If you have a corpse, I corpsed in China, and we couldn't stop laughing. I was with Tam Williams. You know Tam Williams, the great Tam Williams, who's Simon's son. We corpsed in China because we were doing a show. Everyone said to us, if you work in China, that they answer the phone, they get up, if they want to eat, they go and find food, they bring it back, they go to the loo, they chat, all the rest of it. And we thought, no, they won't do it. We were doing Shakespeare, they won't do that. And of course they did. It's marvellous. These just get used to it. We were doing a matinee, and there was roadworks going on outside. So we were trying to do this play with
That was very good.
And there was this really awful smell of kind of, I don't know, sewage that was coming through the stage. And we were looking at each other, and we corpsed, and we couldn't stop laughing. I mean, everyone was in the wings just watching us. I mean, I've corpsed before, but not like this. Not where we were lying on the floor, just laughing so much. But the thing is, I had to do this. We were laughing with each other, but then I had to do this stuff to the audience to tell them what's going on in the play. And I did that fine. We were going from laughing, going, so what's happening now is blah, 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 blah. So I could talk to the audience fine, and then I went back to Tam, and we were just lying on the floor, just with tears pouring down. That was the worst. I've never, nothing really awful, nothing like where things have collapsed and all that sort of stuff.
Falling over.
Nothing like that.
Yeah.
No, that's falling over acting and things. I was once doing There's a Girl in My Soup with John Stride, and the set is a kitchen because he's cooking, and he was just making all of this on the hob. The hob just fell off the set.
What about with Holby, Bob? Anything like that? Anything go wrong?
Oh, Holby! Oh my God, Holby was just. Holby was. it's awful when you corpse because and laugh because the crew, because there's obviously a time constraint, so you feel the crew just going, pull it together, come on, just pull it together, stop laughing. So we were quite good. We were quite good on Holby. Probably the worst. So, oh God, it's awful. But it was so basically we had this thing where because they'd have a rubber when you were doing operations, you'd have a rubber body. Obviously, because you can't perform for people, but every now and then they'd have to supplant. So there would always be a rubber head, and I had this thing where Paul Bradley had it as well. I think Paul started it, and I carried it on. Where you'd walk past and you'd slap the rubber head. It was the most satisfying thing in the world. So you just go and slap the rubber head and walk out, and everyone's going, oh. I didn't realise once that I think it was Paul Bradley did it once and I did it once. I think Paul Bradley's was worse. They obviously for the money shot, they had one of the SAs or whoever replaced them, and he didn't realise that the body had been replaced. So he walked past and slapped someone clean on the head. And while he walked out, instead thinking it was the rubber head. And we were laughing so much. But the brilliant thing was the SA didn't bat an eyelid. He got slapped in the head. And you could see him go like that. And he just closed his eyes again, thinking, this is obviously what they do. This is always what the regulars do. They go around slapping SAs in the head just for something. So that was the work. That was the work.
Where are you now? Just to tell our wonderful viewers, where are you? Where's the next few dates?
Right. So I'm in Norwich this week. So we're doing
Lovely
Norwich
theatre.
this week. Lovely theatre, lovely city, friendliest people in the world.
Yeah.
Then we go to Plymouth.
Yes.
Then we go to Canterbury. Then we go to Glasgow. Then we go to Glasgow. Then we go to Leicester. Then we go to Edinburgh. And then we come back, and then I think we go to Cambridge, then Richmond, then Malvern, and then we finish this leg in Truro, and then we have 7 weeks off.
Wow.
Nice,
We start
nice
Wow.
tour. Very nice.
Really nice.
Well, we will all be there at Richmond.
You're going to come to Richmond?
Yes.
This is so exciting.
Well,
Yeah.
This is so exciting you're coming.
can I just
Please
say-
don't fall asleep or slap us on the head.
I won't fall asleep. I won't slap anyone in the head, and I
Bob,
won't fall asleep.
Can I just say, Bob, your #1 fan, Lorraine, it's her birthday today,
Oh,
and she's just written to me saying, tell you that she will be coming to see you in Kent, so Canterbury then.
she's coming to Canterbury because
Yeah.
we're not going. Sadly, we're not going to Bromley because I think
No,
Bromley might be.
she'll come to
out.
Canterbury to see you. And
Is she coming to Canterbury?
Yeah, she said she loves you and wants
I
to give you a big
love Lorraine. I love Lorraine and David so much. I can't
Oh.
tell you.
birthday.
It's a gift that they're such wonderful people, and it was such a special night when they came. Yeah.
See you soon, darling.
We love
Love
you,
you.
Bob. Thank
We
I
you.
love you
Great
all
meeting
so
you,
much.
Bob.
It's so lovely to see you all.
Bye,
Thanks,
darling.
thanks for having me.
Oh, he's so
Oh, that's
lovely.
He is amazing, man. Really amazing. Oh, so we've
Yeah.
got to book the tickets for Richmond, otherwise we won't get them.
Yeah,
Exactly.
They're totally sold out, he said. And they're going until next year, and I think next May.
We'll say goodbye to our viewers, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week. Bye.